Hi, I'm Francesca Elmer. I'm a volunteer with the 2020 International Climate Action Challenge. And today we are talking with Victoria Yokota of To Be or Not to Be. And we're going to talk about the challenge with her. We are very excited to share her story. Victoria, please introduce yourself and tell us about your 90-day challenge goal.
Hi, I'm Victoria Yokota. I have several goals. One is to help a multi-generational beekeeping family and publisher of a respected bee magazine for 86 years. And so it is such a rare collection. It is a 2-floor library in the historic apiculture. They were so respected, bee experts from around the world sent them art, books, magazines, material, correspondence, and more. And they collected it. It is the root of this 2-floor bee library, which goes from the late 1800s to 1982, 100 years from every climate, every continent, all different cultures, all different languages. It is amazing. And it's literally a thick, deep, rare resource on bees. That's what got me into
Wow.
this.
So you got quite an interesting story on how you got interested on working with bees. Can you share that with us?
I came to France actually because I had multiple floods in one year and lost my home and everything I own basically, and was invited through a friend to have a studio here in L'Île-sur-le-Sorgue, the heart of Provence. I loved the culture. It had the best lavender honey I ever tasted in my life, like magnificent. And one day in the spring, I walked back into the big courtyard of my building, which was built in 1642, and with thousands, maybe thousands of so many bees. It just blanketed the floor with bees dying and trembling on the ground. And I was in utter shock. How is this possible in Provence, a historical center of honey? It was declared by the Italian merchants in 1500s to be the best honey in the world. It is the symbol of Provence, the bee. It was the symbol of Napoleon, and it was the symbol of one of the first kings in the first century. So how is this possible that bees are dying en masse like this in Provence? So I started researching it, and that's what led me into my passion for bees.
And how did you learn about the 90-day challenge?
I attended the online August climate reality training led by Al Gore. I received a certification, and then they have something called the Climate Reality Hub. And so I started reading everything on it, and I located Joan Gregerson's Green Team 90-Day International Climate Challenge. And at the same time, the family of the library, which are wonderful people, asked me to help them to restore and develop this library.
They both came to you at the same time, so that was really cool.
It all came at the same time, and I already had my passion for bees and what's going on, and I said yes. And then when I went to see this library, I was in utter amazement at what an incredible resource. I've never seen anything like this before.
That's so cool.
I have some other projects that are going to reach out. This is like my taproot. The historic center of the best honey in the world. This knowledge, bringing it, making it available, and then doing projects and road trip journalism stories. First, regionally, I have 6 already planned with my team. Then I want to do projects with the youth here, with developing wild bee nests and butterfly gardens for our public space with the youth in the school systems and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's my 3-part goal.
That's really cool. Yeah. So let's talk a bit about how the 90 days went for you. How many team members did you start off with, and how many are you now?
I started off with me and the woman that's the head of the beekeeping family. And after that, I added 3 more people.
Oh, great.
And each one is very wonderful, special person that brings different gifts and talents. So we now have 5. And they're all wonderful, creative. Some are great with web development, some are good with filming, some will want to do the editing, and we can do things like that together. I have to thank Joan Gregerson and the Green Team and this challenge, because her guidance throughout this has been absolutely fantastic. I had checklists that I did every week. I turned in assignments every week. I really took this seriously. These are just some of the reports I've created, and for how to get grants, how to structure things, all kinds of ways. And thank you, Joan Gregerson and the Green Team, and all of the wonderful challengers I met, which we're starting to collaborate too. This is a fantastic, active, 2 feet on the ground, boots on the ground kind of group.
It is definitely quite a really effective and awesome way of starting a challenge in this group rather than just trying to do it yourself.
It's fabulous. I would not have actually really been able to accomplish this without the guidance and the teamwork and the inspiration from other teams, because we met every week online and I heard what other people were doing. If I didn't know something, I would reach out and connect with someone who did. And I've done the same. I've sent some of my how to create wild bee nests so that they can actually create wild bee nests for their new trees and forests. And I have one person I want to work with for how the youths can do photojournalism to document their projects for greater impact as well. And they have given me just as much. And some of the mentors were fabulous. So it's been a great experience.
So what did you accomplish in those 90 days? What kind of impact did you have?
Until we were locked down in COVID, which we are still till December 15th, we went on site to the library. We created space for all of the international periodicals. We created space for all of the old labels and all of the old product things from the family's historical collection. And we've been working on creating where everything's going to be housed. It's a big project. It's a long, deep project, so it needs grants. It needs what is the structure that can best support the ongoing preservation of this library and perhaps like a museum kind of a thing. I want to read you a quote from the creator. It was the elder of this family, died at 99 years old, and he had a statement, and I've been trying to follow that. He called himself the Gazetteer. The Gazetteer will be happy to help and assist you if you do him the honor of having recourse to him. Thanks to the voluminous archives which he has accumulated in 60 years of uninterrupted research, he will likely find solutions to any problems that may arise. Used without fear of abusing his availability, biographers, etymologists, historians, writers, students have permanent recourse to its documentation. I'm picking up the baton on that in my own photojournalism projects and preserving his life work. This is a deep project, and really, I feel like it's an interesting thing. When there's a deep winter and it burns the land, what happens is the plants send their roots deeper. And I've been in COVID lockdown all alone in a little studio apartment on the phone with friends, and wherever we can conference to move this forward, the team members that I brought in, and using this time to actually do all the research so that everything, you can hit the ground running.
My last question to you is, what is your advice for others who want to make an impact?
I learned so much through the Climate Reality Project and had so many connections, but for boots on the ground stuff, I love the guidance of Joan Gregerson's 90-day challenge and her books and her workbook. I'm going to use them for some of the community projects, like with youth, like maybe put them on a 90-day challenge. It really gives a step-by-step, really practical guide, and that's why I have so much research done. And that's why, even though I'm still in total lockdown here in France, there is a rich body of work, which I'm now, once this is done, going to sort through and extract the most important from and make a plan. It is invaluable. I really mean that.
Yeah.
I've connected with fabulous people from every continent around the world whose projects just blow me away. They're that good. They're going to be my lifelong friends, I think, and connections. We cheer each other on to love our earth the way it needs to be loved, from every culture, every place in the world, every expression. Brothers and sisters together in this boat of love for our earth.
Thank you so much, Victoria. That was a really nice story, and thanks for sharing it with us. For those of you who want to find out more about how to do a challenge yourself or in your community, please visit www.climateactionchallenge.net and you find out how you can start your own challenge as well.